Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Shorty Sneaker Conversations. This is episode 96, featuring special guest It's Just Jay. Hopefully we can get him. Okay. What's up, Brian? Welcome. I like your reels, man. Doing it big with the Kixology. There you go, Jay. Just sent you the invite. Let me send it again. Just sent it. So yeah. Okay. For whatever reason, it won't let me accept it. All right, hope we can get this going soon. Trying to hit accept. What's up, Carl? We'll be get going in just a second. Man, saying unable to join and it won't let me accept. I don't know why it won't let me accept. Okay, hopefully we can get the show going. What's been up with you though, Carl? Hopefully everything is well your way up there. Yeah, I don't know why it's not letting me accept it. Share elevation at Myrtle. Oh, you at Myrtle Beach. Okay. Okay. So it's about 3 hours away from me. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with this live. What's up, Izzy? Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna have to end this. And yeah, I'm okay. I don't know what's going on with this live. It's not letting me add anyone. So yeah, hopefully we can get started soon. I just sent another invite to our guest. Jay, how you enjoying Myrtle? What's up, Mr. Kingsley Closet? What's up, the Only Marvel? I don't know why it's not letting me accept this. What's up, Loves Jones? Okay, there we go. Getting some.
All right.
What's up, man?
Hey, how you doing?
Good, man. Good. Good. I don't know what's going on with Instagram today, but thank you for being here.
All right. Thank you for having me.
Oh, no problem, man. Wanted to thank you before we even get started, man. Thank you for being in these lives, man. I really appreciate it.
Oh yeah, I enjoy the content and seeing what everybody got to say and their views on things.
Yeah.
Very entertaining.
Yeah. Okay. Well, before we get started, what's the most positive thing you've been able to take from the world since the pandemic started?
I'd say the most positive thing I take is just perseverance, because it's people faced a lot of adversity, whether it be job or family or even deaths or dealing with COVID or what have you. So that's what I pulled from it. Just the perseverance to keep going and see the other side of it. I mean, I guess we got monkeypox coming too. Got like part two, but beyond that, definitely perseverance to keep going and do what you're trying to do in the midst of.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been saying about the monkeypox. I wonder I hope it doesn't get to that point, but could be looking at another shutdown or something. I don't know. That looks scary.
Yeah, they got to get the PPP money back so they can give out the monkeypox stimulus first. So it'll be a while.
Yeah, that's true. That is very true how you put that. For sure. Okay. Well, now that we got, that question out the way, everybody knows who you are already, but, if you want to introduce yourself to everybody, let everybody know who you are, where you're from.
All right. I'm James. Go by Just Jay on Instagram. Kind of a sneaker recluse. I don't really do I voyeur, but I don't do a lot of things anymore. But from North Carolina, Greensboro Triad area.
Okay.
And that's me.
Oh man, I didn't know you was low. I mean, I'm in Mebane, so I didn't know you was so close.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, got Al a little further out. I know you was on his show already, so yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, right in the
cool.
same neighborhood.
Yeah, we got to get up sometime, man, for sure.
All right.
Well, I usually start off, kind of with sneaker origins. So I do have to ask, what was kind of that first or earliest sneaker memory that you got?
Well, for me, it's kind of twofold. The earliest really was kind of the Adidas Rivalry Conductor, the Superstar, just because I have, a lot of family in New York area. And that's really where I picked up a lot of my kind of sneaker culture obsession, because it really wasn't like that down here. But up there, that was life for them, and at that time, mid, late 80s, you're getting all these new designs and things, they're coming from Chucks and Pro Kids and stuff. So everybody want the newest thing. So that's kind of my earliest part of it. Plus, my dad, when I was growing up, he was a DJ. So on the, album covers and stuff, you see, Run DMC and stuff. That's some of the stuff you would see. So that was the earliest for me of noticing something different because, rivalries and conductors and stuff had team colors. You kind of saw blacks, whites, black and, white and red, white and gray, but that kind of popped. So that was me noticing younger. Later on, that got me, I got to have it, was the Air Jordan 5, the black, black and silver. That just kind of popped for me. That's what really got me going. Like, I need to have that on my feet, as a, 8th grader or something, or no, 5th grader.
Okay. I love all of those 80s Adidas basketball sneakers, the Conductor, the Conquest, the Rivalry, the Metro Attitude. They all look the same, but they're all different at the same time.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm a fan. I still, I don't know how I don't have them, but I need a pair of the Ewing colorway of the Attitude. I have like a Lakers one, but I need that.
Okay.
I need that. I'm kind of ashamed to say I don't have it. Never had it, but I've had a few chances to get it and pass foolishly. So good to see somebody else with love for that kind of sneaker. So for sure.
Well, you're okay. Now, the last one had the banana toe, so I don't think you missed out too much in 2014. Yeah. But the Rivalry, that's A+. They got that right a couple years ago.
Yeah,
I got a couple pairs of those.
Okay. Yeah, I got like an all white pair, and like the leather on it was so good. I'm like,
yeah.
And they're only like $40 on sale. I'm like, but I have to get these, So
yeah, it's like garment leather. They're super soft, Mm-hmm. If the Jordan 1 was like that, that would be perfect, but they're not going to do that anytime soon, or few and far between.
Yeah. Right quick, shout out to everybody in the chat. What's up, Monte Carlo? What's up, V Weathers HR, my wife. Hello. Okay. So you said the 5 was kind of like that shoe that kind of solidified it, though. That was kind of like.
All right. Oh, yeah, for sure.
Now, what would you say would be like the next sneaker after that just kind of like took it over the top, where it's like, all right, I'm in this?
After that, I'll probably say the Reebok Pump.
Okay.
The kind of and not really a specific one, but you kind of had like a gimmick technology battle Yeah, right in that time frame. So seeing like the black top pump, and the pressure, and then getting into David Robinson's line. But
Yeah,
that's what really kind of took me like, wow, it's kind of wild, and I kind of want to get into it. Now the prices were crazy for a kid, but that's
yeah,
really kind of makes you look down. But those were the things like, wow, this something's really happening. That's what kind of drove it for me. Just kind of having that, during that time after about when Jordan started it really, but really getting into the 80s when Reebok tried to catch up and some other companies did too. Adidas was doing their thing, but tried to make it more prominent. It was kind of the
mhm,
newest greatest type thing. So after
yeah,
that newest greatest was that kind of pump technology really. Then you get into Hirachi and all that. Everybody trying to put their technology and make it visible, and colorful.
yeah, yeah. No, that was a beautiful time. I mean, one thing that used to always get me about the early and mid '90s was that Jordans always had the reputation for being expensive. And they're expensive, but there were so many other models that were more expensive than
Oh,
Jordans.
oh, for sure.
Because I had to remind this young dude, I'm like, look, man, Jordans didn't get to be 150 until the 13. That was with 97, 98. Like, you know, I remember when I was in ninth grade when the 11s were the new J's. I mean, the Pennies, the Pippins, like all those other shoes, the Air Max 95, they were all more than the Jordan.
All right.
And I remember those David Robinson being like 150 in 91 because of that
Oh yeah,
straight
yeah.
out, so I
Yeah,
only
those were
brought that.
like the top of the line.
Yeah, yeah.
Because then
I
you
mean,
had separate lines. You had Flight, you had Force.
yes.
That topped out, but the absolute top was the Force. Those are always expensive. Those are always super expensive. Phone posits, crazy expensive.
Yeah, because I feel like they came out with the Command Force, and then a little while after they came out with the 180, which
Yeah,
was
the one
even.
that yeah, because it had to pump around the ankle and the arch with the
Yeah,
little, and then you had the Reebok double pump that kind of had a similar thing with a switch on it too.
yeah, yeah.
It's ridiculously expensive.
Now I will say, back in those times, I was always a fan of the Air Force 180 mid, even more so than the high, because after Jordan, I loved and still love Charles Barkley. So
Oh,
I
same, same.
over David Robinson's. Um, but yeah, okay. Well, that's this is a golden era we talking about, for sure, for sure.
Oh yeah.
Now, along with the kicks, do you remember what clothing lines or clothes you liked back in those days?
Well, I think back in those days you kind of had I guess technically it wasn't Nike sportswear, but they were getting into it with with the college stuff was real heavy starter, that type of thing. Being a kid then, so you definitely wanted that shooting shirt, you wanted
Mm-hmm.
that practice jersey, you wanted those
Yes.
practice shorts, you wanted that starter pullover, you wanted that starter hat, all those type of things. Later
Ah,
on in the decade in the '90s, you got into like you looking for like Kanai and Walker wear stuff like that, aspirational, you know what I'm saying? But as far as like into the middle of that era, definitely those team sport colors and stuff,
yeah.
and brands that kind of surrounded it.
Like I still want a UNC shooting shirt with the UNC.
Okay,
I still because I've only been living in North Carolina for 2 years. I'm from Cleveland, but
okay,
you know I've always wanted that shirt. That shooting shirt. Uh, Even back in the '90s, that Nike Team Sports, that patch.
yeah,
The
yeah, the
that was
orange
a
pack with the black borders, yeah, yeah, that was it right there. That was the aspirational brands right there
yeah.
because they were just getting into it. All the other stuff like in the '80s and stuff when Nike was already with colleges, but it was more like PEs for the college. You know,
Mm,
so they got
yeah.
into the '90s. You mean to tell me I can get a Carolina and white force and I can get these Carolina shorts and shooting shirt or Syracuse or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was it.
Michigan, and I'm
Oh yeah,
Ohio,
for sure.
but I love it.
Oh
You
yeah,
know.
yeah, all that stuff. So that was definitely the thing on the mom, and that's kind of pre like more boutique fashion, but that was definitely the brands I was looking at back then for sure. I didn't get into the other stuff until maybe the late '90s, early 2000s,
Yeah.
which was a good era, but dark era too with some of those brands. But it is what it is.
Yeah, we're about to get into that in a sec. I did want to say, I remember my cousin Raven. She gave me some of her hand me downs. I had like two Champion crew necks,
Oh yeah,
like they wear.
Champion. Okay, yeah.
But I had a purple Carl Kanai with like the orange and gold. It almost looked like a Phoenix Suns kind of Carl Kanai with the cursive. Man, I felt like I
Yeah.
was like I couldn't wait to get to school. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah, it had the signature with like the triple colors.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, I remember that. Oh man. Now I know you said you had, family, in New York, even though you was down here. Out of them, who was like your biggest style influence? This is kind of before, you getting your own money, but who did you look at like, damn, he's cool, and was there anybody famous that you looked at like that as well?
I say definitely several of my uncles really. I know
Okay.
definitely my Uncle Waddy, he was always into fashion, always had the fashionable things, and he's my youngest uncle. He's 10 years older than I am, exactly. So anything I was seeing like that, he was right in the middle of it. I'm 10, he's 20,
Mm,
and got these things, and so I'm seeing these things. So I could definitely see, that imprint on me. As far as somebody famous, not not necessarily. Back then, I guess my big thing was basketball for sure, football, those things. But you really didn't see how you do now. Pregame, you didn't see a lot of that.
yeah.
And if it's somebody like Jordan or those guys, they go to the press conference, they're in a suit. I
Ooh,
can't do anything with that as a kid. So so
nah, I get you. I get you. One thing that I feel like we benefited is because you when did you come out of high school?
I came out in '98.
98. Okay. All right, you got me by a year. I came out in 99, but we right in that same era. So we grew up
Yeah,
born in the 80s or late 70s and teenagers in the 90s. That TV product placement, movie product placement, I feel like that had a big influence on things too.
oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, it was a golden era for a lot of things. I mean, you could arguably say it was a golden era for sneakers, music. I mean, not just rap or anything, all music, alternative, all that stuff. Because MTV threw all of it at you.
Yeah,
You wake up, get ready to go to school. You saw a little bit of everything before you left the house. That
it's
had
true.
influence. So a lot of those things, car culture. I don't know if you're into vehicles and stuff, but that was part of it. That's part of it too. That was kind of the that laid the foundation. You saw somebody had the cool car. You get out, got the cool shoes, listening to some cool music.
Yeah.
It's
Cool
kind of made an
clothes.
imprint. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah. Yeah. Mm, good times, good times. Um, so we'll kind of jump ahead to, we're a little older, kind of like high school age. So I always say, um, my ninth grade year or your 10th grade year was like the greatest year of all time for sneakers because you had heat from like beginning to end of school year, that whole 95, 96.
Yeah.
Um, the 11s, of course, Griffeys, the Dion's, the Godzilla Barkleys, the Air Max 95, the Penny One, the Airway Up, the Rodmans. Like it was a lot. Were you working yet or buying your own kicks by that time, or was it a little bit after?
Yeah. Around that time, I'd been working some part time and stuff, and also got a little bit of allowance for doing the things around the house. So I try to combine that and get a thing or two here and there.
Sure, sure. You remember that first major sneaker purchase you had did on your own?
First one on my own. Yeah, first one on my own was actually is actually an outlet cop. It was a Air Jordan 10.
Mm,
The
okay.
this Dark Shadow Stealth.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
that was
great.
that was my first one.
Nice, nice. I I feel like the 10, for as much as they were retro in it, probably up until the pandemic, um, I feel like over the last couple of years they haven't really shown it any love. I feel like the last one might have been that Sonic's City Pack one.
Yeah. I think you're right. I think you're right.
I feel like from maybe 2012 to 2019 there were always 10s around, but now it's just 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9. They kind of skip over. The 7 and the 8 don't really get any love anymore either.
Yeah, yeah. The 7 I kind of don't understand, but I'm fine with it really. Like even with the 10s, some of the colorways they released, let it rest. Some of those colorways I was not a fan of. I mean, I look at back in those days, Tinker set the tone for your color blocking. Just don't get that wrong, but they got a lot of them wrong. And it's the same thing with the 8 too. It's got so many panels. I can see why like if it's a Dornbecker and the kid's doing it, you have
Yeah.
respect for that kid's creativity. But if you're a grown man, you know what I'm saying, and you're in charge of colorways, some of that stuff, man, you shouldn't have done that.
Nah,
But if I understand people like colors though, because that goes back to the old days too. You didn't have that's where the old, remember the old fakes, you know what I'm saying, that were real colorful and stuff, because back then Jordan didn't have a variety of colors. So
right.
either you would buy like a stupid crazy fake, or it'd be like the Dope Boys or something, buy 2 or 3 brand new pairs and have somebody customize them or something.
Yeah.
So I understand giving them the colors. I understand it, but I still didn't. A lot of them, I was like, yeah, they can have those. Like, give me the steels, give me the give me the Chicago's, give me the stealth, and if you want to do the city pack or a variety of those. Some of those Paris ones and stuff were all right, but
I feel like if we're concentrating on the 10 specifically, the first retro set, that '05 set where it had like the ice blue and they were still doing the lifestyle Jordans.
right.
Some of those were good, but then when I look at, because I actually have a few of them here, I'm like, what was I thinking? Like some of that stuff, 2013 and 14, like the Bobcat 10s.
Yeah.
I kind of look at some of that stuff I bought like, but it's a place for it all. So it's a matter of just getting to it. But you're right. Some of that they could have kept.
It's a matter of how you look at it too. It's everything's history at some point. Like they're re-releasing these, like the 5s, like the burgundy ones and the green beans and stuff. When those first came out, they were kind of it, because that's when they were first dabbling in colors and textures and stitching and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And before that, way before that, were the Laneys. I remember getting those. I was like, wow, they got a new color of the 5 after it hadn't been back in forever. Well, I guess 10 years at that point, 10, 11 years at that point. So there's a space for it if you want to get into it, but nothing wrong with it.
They was doing the 10-year thing back then in the early days of the retros. You right. The Laney and that metallic, the white metallic, those was, to me, all of those early retros, the majority of them were pretty good. They were made well too. Now, knowing what you know about shoes, even back then,
okay,
how do you feel about them bringing out, the 4s? Or I remember before the 4, they brought back the Bo Jackson in '98, and then it kind of went over. I was like, well, they probably gonna do this with Jordans. Next year, they did it with Jordans. So, how did you feel about the early retro product?
The early retro product is really why a big chunk of my collection that I had maybe around that 2013, and maybe I say between 2009 and 2012, 13, I got popping on eBay selling a lot of that stuff because I knew it was over. There was no point to have it, because really this collecting thing back then, there was no reason for it. Like, I mean, because you were on to the next one. There was always bigger, better, greater, unless you really liked it and wanted to keep it, or I know, a lot of my cousins and stuff, they just had so many sneakers, they weren't going to toss them, but they had them, in the stash. So you could kind of get busy on like Nike Talk, trading and stuff. That's where you had to find a lot of that stuff back then if you wanted something that was kind of older, because your thought was it wasn't coming back, so you had variety in your collection. But when they started, doing some of the bows, when they started doing Prestos over and over again, Hirachis over and over again, and then when they got to the countdown packs, I was like, yeah, so when I heard about that, I was like, man, as far as, just keeping some really old heat, I was like, it's over. Because I'm like, I'm either going to keep it and let it crumble, or I can buy this for, you can't do it. Those times are gone, but I can go in here and buy a brand new 5 or keep this 5 that's like 15 years old. If you want to keep wearing it, I'd rather wear the 5. It depends on how you look at it. If you want to preserve the history of it and things. Now I do have some pairs like that. Like I think I sent you like the trainer posit stuff like that. That's not coming back. But other, I mean, no way. They're not coming back at all. And I got other ones like that. But besides that, like for a Jordan that everybody knows they like, they're gonna cycle that. That's like shaking a money tree for them.
Yeah, yeah. I'll just say, I did get a kick out of it because I used to have, I don't know what happened to him, but I had that newsprint trainer posit that you sent me. I used to have it like 2001 or 2. The majority of the Alpha Project stuff beyond the Presto and the, I don't even know if I really count Shocks as a part of that, but the Gary Paytons, they brought them back and they didn't really do anything. Not the glove, but the one after the GP1.
Yeah, yeah.
The majority of the Alpha Project is unretroable beyond people like us.
Yeah. I mean, that for their day, they were basically like the ISPA stuff.
Yes. That is a really good analogy. That's a really good connection there.
I mean, but they had somebody attached to it,
Yeah.
But besides that,
See, you really know your stuff. I mean, I knew you did, but yeah, making that correlation, that is great because Al and I talk about the Alpha Project quite a bit. I like the fact that with some of the stuff, the Prestos, they brought back the box and everything. Stuff like that trainer posit or a Fanta posit,
Flight Posit 2s. One of the ones I wish they bring back was the Zoom Citizen.
Ooh.
The Pounce. The Air Zoom Pounce, stuff like that.
Ooh. Yeah, I've always.
That's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm looking for.
I used to.
I'm not looking for Q-Dog 1s, man. I'm looking for that.
Boy, that to me, that's this year. That Jordan 1 Brotherhood is sort of like the Panda of Jordan 1s because they're everywhere. Like they always have them. Like now they got them in the aisle at Mebane at Nike. Like there's so many of them. So
yeah, they took a shot, but by homecoming season for black colleges, they'll be gone.
Yeah,
they'll be ready to rep by then, or give it a couple months.
Yeah, but that Zoom Citizen, I've always wanted that. When I was on Nike Talk Heavy, like 02, 01, 02, probably to maybe 09, I used to always look for stuff like that on eBay, and I usually would find it, but I never found a pair of Zoom Citizens. I always wanted them.
Yeah, it's tough, man, because people that had them, they beat them down. They used them for what they were, for. Because I mean, even back then, it was kind of a fringe shoe. It's like me. I always look. I know it's fruitless, but I always look for like an Air Alarm. I really want those. Probably won't come back, but they had a sample a couple like 2-3 years ago. They were thinking about it, but they scrapped it. That was right before the second Tech Challenge 2 project came out, when they had the LeBron watch ones too at the same time. Right, like I think a year before that they were thinking about bringing it back, but every once in a while you see samples on eBay, but that's definitely not one that's coming back.
I've always I have the white, black, and red pair, but I've always wanted a green pair. Yeah,
that's what I want too. I want the green ones. I think they had one that was majority white. I can't remember what color I can't remember if the swoosh was like a dark gray or a black.
Yeah, because like when I post the shoe, I usually in the stories I try to post the athlete wearing the shoe, and I had to really, really look for pictures of Agassi wearing the white, black, and red one, but it's all kinds of pictures of him and of course Gary Payton wearing that white, black, and green one. So and they're still wearable because it's DRC. It's not gonna break down. So, but yeah, I'll tell you one that's eluded me, and it's retroed a couple of times, but just that regular plain old white and black Air Flare.
Okay.
Had it before.
Yeah, I got a pair of those. I got them up in the attic, but I mean, you can still sort of find them, but they want way too much for them for what they are. I'm waiting for them to come back around.
Yeah, that's the problem.
They're popular. I think they're popular enough in his history where they'll pop back up one more time.
Yeah, because I just feel like when everybody thinks of Agassi, they just think of the AirTech Challenge 2 and the AirTech Challenge 3. I'm also looking for the AirTech Challenge 4, but again, it's way too much whenever I can find it.
Oh
The white,
yeah, it's four figures now.
yeah,
Matter of
yeah.
fact, that was the last shoe I got before Nike did the region lock.
Ah,
I bought
okay.
two pairs of those from Spain,
Whew.
and I'm
Yeah,
thankful because I would never have it if I had to go through reseller now. The prices are ridiculous, like
and
1,600, man. Like, come on, man.
yeah, like the cheapest pair I could find in an 11 and a half or a 12 was like 692. You know, and I was like, I don't even
Yeah,
want
and
to pay that.
that's a steal for what they charge for a lot of them.
Yeah, because I even thought about buying those hybrids that sort of look like it, but I'm like, nah, man, I just can't do
Oh, the one that's like a blend of like the 1, 2, and
it.
3.
Yeah,
I
I'm like,
like those, but yeah, it doesn't hit the same when you don't have the original. They're
nah.
cool if you had them, but I can understand that because they would kind of tick you off every time you saw them because you know what you would want.
Yeah. So I look at shoes like that as because like I always say, there's a sneaker vortex. It's mainly trainers. There's a few basketball shoes in there. Jordans don't really make it to the vortex, but it's a shoe like they'll retro it once, and then it just never come back. It's like it never came out. You know, like um
Like that Trainer 3 where they didn't put the TW on it, made it all leather.
yeah, yeah, stuff like that. The totally washable. Or like, and it shouldn't be because it's such a classic shoe, but like I look at that Fab Five Barkley, it's in the
Yeah,
vortex. Like, it's
yeah,
hard to find them, and they've retro 3 times. If you find them, they be from '01 or '06, never from 13.
yeah. And
So
didn't during that run, didn't they have the ones where they were like fused or something? Like they did something funky with one of the retros.
they I know with the CB94, they made it with VacTech, so it was kind of
Yeah,
shiny, regular one.
yeah.
So they did that, but with that Fab Five Barkley, just the black and gray one is hard to find. But all those, the red ones, gray ones, all those other colors, you could just
All the colors that don't mean anything to you.
yeah. Even even that white pair from 18, the white OG, they're not as hard to find as the black, but they're still not easy like those colors. We just
Yeah.
where you still got to kind of look. So, but I feel like trainers are in there the most, and a lot of tennis shoes. Like, um, I'm looking for the Air Challenge LWP. You know what I mean?
Okay. Oh, good luck.
Right, right before the Air Alarm. Like, whenever I
Yeah.
find 450.
Yeah,
So,
that's why like when my guys I follow shout the Sneaker Preservation Society, he's got like a whole room full of them things, man. I think he got like 5 pairs that I've seen. I don't know how many he actually has. But he's got the black and copper, he's got the white base ones. They're beautiful, man, but they're like you said, the eyes of them coming back, not good.
because even the Tech Challenge Hirachi, like I remember that being popular, back in the 90s when we were like 12, 13, because I had the white and teal pair. And they retroed it, GR, but even that's hard to find. Whenever I find that shoe, I always find that Phoenix Suns one. I'm like, man, this ain't no real color.
Yeah. I
If
have
I'm
no idea what happened to them. I
yeah.
know the last time they came out, they were on deep discount on Jimmy Jazz. And when I tried to put it in the cart, it wouldn't let me purchase. Then it does the refresh, and I guess somebody was in the cart at the same time. But since then, I was like, on to the next one. It's like a bus. I catch the next one because they're probably gone, and I'm not giving anybody $400 for them.
Nah, and see, that's what I miss about. I'm glad you brought up Jimmy Jazz. Pre-pandemic, Jimmy Jazz used to always have Nike retros that weren't Jordans or foam posits for the low.
Oh
Like
yeah, for sure.
when before the Air Max 98 became a thing, I remember when they came out in 2014, all of them joints was like $79.99 at Jimmy
Yeah,
Jazz. Only Jimmy Jazz had them, it seemed like.
yeah. I'd always just kind of wait for the end of the season, browse online on their clearance, and they'd always be there. If I went in store locally, they didn't have it, but they always had them online. I just had them ship it to the house because I got my Trainer 91s. The black and white one were my favorite more than the gray and yellow. So I got a pair of those and beat them down. I wish I'd have bought two because that's hard to find too.
Yeah.
I can't. So if you do find it, they're beat to death and somebody wants $200 for them. But
With that shoe and with the Webbers, it's kind of like all the other times they retroed that Trainer 91, the black and white one would always be there and the gray and yellow one would be hard to find. And they did it with the Weber. They would always have the white Weber, but they'd never bring back the black one. But the last time it was flipped. You know, like, I've never owned that black and white one. I've always just had the gray and yellow.
Okay.
But I always wanted it. I even have like a gray and navy blue pair I found at Foot Locker for like $40 once, but I never had that black and white one. Props to you for liking that one over the gray. You know, I'm a sucker for that gray and yellow.
Yeah, I like the like the gray and yellow, but if I had to choose for what I could find, that's what I would go with. And plus, and this is more of a 90s youth thing too. What kind of made me like it was also seeing it on well, I see the yellow one in print ads. I see it like we used to have like I cannot remember the name of the store, but it had a giant sporting goods store, kind of I'd say Home Depot sized, but they had like a track in there. They have all your sport equipment and stuff in there, and you know you would see it on the print ads they had in there with Bo with them on, but you never saw him. I never really saw him with them on. But I remember watching like back in the day, what was that? Like Family Matters. One of the episodes, Eddie Winslow hooping, he wore them, the black and white.
Yeah.
So that was the imprint on for him. Yeah, that product placement.
You know, because like for me, I know I had asked you earlier, what was the shoe that started it, and then the next shoe, like for me, the infrared 6 is what started it all for me. I had for that, but that was the first shoe I ever wanted. But that next shoe was that that black and purple Air Max BW, just their level. And I remember seeing those on Family Matters because one of Laura's dudes had them on, and I was like, oh, those are the shoes, because this rich kid at my school had them. And I had asked him, and it's the same thing, man. It's, you know.
Yeah. I think I've talked to Al about some of that stuff. Like all the stuff I kind of get now, like I've kind of went through the phase of kind of, I don't want to say buying everything or whatever. But as far as like, I want the new stuff and things, and I have a lot of the stuff, the newer stuff I like, but I call it buying back my childhood. Anything that I saw in the old Foot Locker that still had the hoop and the little, 20-inch television playing the tape loop. Anything I saw in that store on the wood racks, that's kind of what I want. I want to at least have it access to wear. So like you said, you got the BWs, you got the black tops, the battlegrounds, the boulevards. You know, the New Balance that I couldn't figure out as a kid why they were like almost $200 in like 93.
Yeah.
Any of that stuff I saw, like you said, and you know, the shoes you mentioned, because they all got your attention. There was product placement. You know, they look larger than life. That's why the big bubbles kind of sticks out. That's why I kind of want the Air Max 1 where they had when they'll return the big bubble next year. I definitely want to have those. The big bubble hits different. It doesn't seem like it does unless you saw it or remember it, you know, because you're so used to things, you know?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. That black top battleground pump, I'm not sure why they don't ever bring it back. They brought it back once because I have the 05, but I feel like people would buy that if it was around like how they do the Iversons. You know, I feel like people would buy them. I think this is just my theory. I think with those, they're too similar to the D Brown, and I feel like they got something going with the D Brown.
Oh yeah, I'll agree with that because as much as I love Jordans and stuff, I'm a big Adidas fan, and when they kind of bought them, I'm not going to say they overlooked them, but they kind of go for, like you said, they go for the home run, the sure bet. So Iverson's a sure bet, the D Brown's a sure bet. It's something the Sean Kemp stuff. That's what they know, people know of, and that they can kind of, they'll do some numbers that we respect, but like the court victories and digging further into the archive, they kind of save that for Europe, if at all. Because now I think lately, since right before they sold, like there's an old what's the name of that Reebok? It's a running shoe, the Victory G. It's one of the first shoes that had the Gore-Tex. I mean, you can find those like on sale now, and they've retro. I mean, they're full Gore-Tex. They've got the Vibram sole like they had back in the day, the thick suede, everything. But they're not in the States, really.
Yeah. For everybody watching, if you're ever any of y'all thrifters out there, anytime you see any kind of sneaker or shoe with a Vibram sole, get it. It's some shit if it's got a Vibram sole. Oh man, that's all to last forever. But
Yeah.
yeah, oof, this is great. I'm enjoying this.
That's sucks.
So let me ask you this then, because I've kind of abandoned my normal structure of the show. This is
Okay.
this is better than that. So out of any shoe from, because I always say the golden era was like 90, I'll say 93, probably to 98. If you could bring back one shoe from that time period, just one that hasn't been retro, what would you bring back?
You said 93 to
98.
93 to 98. But Pippin 3?
Oh, okay. That's a good one.
Yeah, Pippin 3.
Those are actually still wearable if you have them. I got lucky during the Nike Talk days, and I found both of my pairs for like $40 a piece.
Okay.
I have the Houston pair and the pair that he would have wore had he stayed with the Bulls, the white, black, and red.
Yeah, that's why I want the white, black, and red, because it got the pearlized sole.
Yeah. I never was able to secure the black ones because I wanted to have all three. But that Pippin 3 is most people aren't going to agree. I actually like it better than the 2.
I agree. I think I talked about this with Al. Like if they do the 3s again, I like what Kith did. I like how they kind of gave some premium luxury attention to it, kind of how Jordan has his collaborators doing now. But if they brought back the 3 again, I'd like them to do the Zoom sole that he wore. The majority of the see if you're gonna bring back something different. If you're not gonna give us the big bubble they had, give us the Zoom that he ended up having for his player edition.
Yeah, that would be hot. That would be hot. Make it something like that. I can live with them making it limited. You know what I mean? You only make 3,300 of them, something like that, or you know what I mean? Just there's so much that could be done that they don't do, and I feel like for all that Nike has, again, they don't really. I feel like they've kind of gotten away from storytelling on certain models. Like the Penny is about to come back, the first one.
Yeah.
It should be Lil Penny on the sneakers app. It should be all kinds of stuff. There should be retro cards again, not just with certain Jordans, but it's so much more you could do. But I guess they feel like they ain't got to.
Yeah, at this point, I don't know if people have the bandwidth anymore because they drop so many shoes so often.
That's a good point.
That it's kind of hard to tell the story like I guess like a full rollout like you would think of back in the day. Like as far as they can do is really kind of go with social media. Like a lot of the collaborations and stuff, they want you to kind of watch video and they kind of have an initiative or something. But as far as that full storytelling, I don't know that and they did it to themselves. I don't know that they have the time anymore. They should, because really they could do without like a weekly drop or shoot as many as they drop. They could do without that. If they had more quality and did it 2 weeks out of a month, I think that would be better. But because their outlets are starting to fill up with a lot of stuff,
Yeah.
And it didn't used to be like that. You used to be able to find some gems like that, But now it's just stuff that you just saw on sneakers after something sold out, but 2 weeks later it's heading to somebody's outlet somewhere in the country.
Mm-hmm. It's either
for about the
that,
same price too.
And all Nike stores are return hubs. So it's some on that end cap. People will be like, "Oh, these shoes are sitting in outlets," and like, no, they just got returned. But reseller couldn't sell them. But I miss those days. What you're talking about. But see, like with Penny, I would do something even like, since Nike owns all of that and they're still down with Pennies, coaching and whatnot. Have a limited edition pack with like the Penny doll. Like it's so much that you can do, man. Like that's why I say I should be part of Nike's marketing, but we'll see.
Yeah, go for it, man. Somebody got to work there.
Yeah. Um, I always talk about. So I asked you what you would bring back. I would bring back the Air Max 294 runner.
Okay.
I'll
Yeah.
it, on here. I had the white, gray, and blue pair at one point back in the Nike Talk days, but it has died since then. So I've never had the white, gray, and teal pair. I need them. Martin used to wear them a lot in season 3.
Yeah.
I need those. If they ever bring those back, I'm gonna quit.
And define quit. You're just gonna completely stop, or you're just not. You're just not on the hunt.
I'll just put it like this: either that, or I'll slow down heavily because I'm going to spend a year getting every 11, 11 and a half, and 12 I can get in that shoe.
Okay. So that's kind of your go-to. Your heart's in that shoe. I like wearing that shoe. Or believe so. Okay.
And since I've never had that colorway, and it's been probably almost 10 years since I even had the white, gray, and blue pair, it will be serious. Like, I'd make it. If it ever announced that they come back, I'm gonna do an impromptu live where y'all will just see tears coming out of my eyes. It's finally happening. So
to put your jersey in the rafters, huh?
Yeah, I mean that's really. I mean, because the other stuff that I consider Grail status, I either know it's never gonna come back, or I'll be shocked if it does.
Okay.
Like, I highly doubt they're ever gonna bring back the Espo Air Force 2.
Yeah.
Probably not.
Yeah. Nah.
They're probably never gonna bring back the Air Check. I'd like for them to.
No. Yeah.
The Stash Air Force 1 High, they'll probably never bring that back. And they've actually retroed it before, but it was limited. And on the Converse side, because you had talked earlier about Adidas buying Reebok, Nike buying Converse, I feel like they did better than Adidas did with Reebok.
Oh, absolutely.
A lot more with that. Like, if they ever retro the Magic and Bird weapons properly, I'll have to have probably 3 or 4 pairs of them.
Hey, just give me that 91 Magic. Just give me that.
Ooh, the triple-double.
Yeah, just give me that.
Man,
give me that, and I'm happy. And plus, also, since they bought it, if they had anything to do with them actually making the Chuck 70, I appreciate it, because that's what the Chuck should have been. The one we grew up with was garbage. I always hated the Chuck Taylor. But seeing what it was supposed to be with the thicker, softer, sole, rubber sole, and the thicker canvas, I could see how somebody could hoop in that. But what we had, the lifestyle flimsy joint, I never understood. I was like, who can hoop in this? But it was more, at that point, it was more full-on casual. But I like that you have the option now with the Chuck 70. How it was made, pre 75, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, because even working for Converse now, I people complain about the price. It's $20 more, but I'm like, it's such a better shoe. Even if I didn't have a discount situation, like I still would Chuck 70. Like, I had a Chuck 70 before I ever went there. Like, it's just so much better. And I could see people hooping in them. And I'm like you said.
Yeah, I can see that, and it looks better. You got the the glossy toe cap. It looks however that was presented. I can see how that's an attractive shoe. I can see how somebody would want it. But the flimsy, thin, regular 70, I mean, it's fine on children, but in the low whatever. But I think the 70 is more representative of the history of it. I like that they kind of went into that with that shoe. It looks better. The collabs look better because it's more, you got the thicker weave, the thicker canvas, so you can do more things like the bandoulos. They did the heavy stitching on them and stuff like that. I mean, it looks better in person, And then you still got the other ones if somebody just wants something kind of light to throw on. You got the best of both. They're representing both sides of it.
I really wanted the Bandulu Chuck. I have the Pro Leather, but I really wanted the Chuck. I wasn't able to get my hands on a pair. But those are great. I was gonna tell you though, I have a pair of triple doubles, but the bottom is gone. So
yeah.
I was trying to find somebody to put a Converse G4 bottom on it because it's like the same shape and everything.
Okay.
So once I find that, hopefully because I have the shoes, and I just haven't found anybody that can do it, and I can't do it. So,
Yeah, I don't know of anybody. I know there are people stateside that do it, but most of the people I know that do like a really super job that I see, they're always in like Germany or something, in England.
mm,
And
yeah,
if I don't know the person, I don't know if I want to send my shoes, a quarter way around the world, even if they're, trucker or whatever. It's kind of nice if something's up, you can go drive over there.
yeah, yeah. I need to Google a little bit more YouTube. I'm gonna figure out a way to do it because I got a pair of G4s with like a clear bottom, so it kind of goes with the way the shoe looks, even though the bottom is different. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Wish me luck on that. If I'm able to do it, I'm gonna send you some pics like it worked.
Okay.
But nah, I'm
Yeah.
with you. Ever brought any of that stuff back, I would have to have it.
Oh yeah. I think they should, like you said, even if it's on a limited basis, why not? It's part of the history, it's part of the history. Get back with Magic. I'm sure he'd be into it. He's not
Yeah,
making his own shoe anymore, so it's not like Adidas trying to get back with Patrick. He's open. He's not trying to sell shoes, so make a whole thing of.
yeah. And I had heard, I don't know how true this is, but I had heard that there was an issue with money. But I guess I look at it like this is implied that this is Larry Bird or Magic Johnson or Isaiah Thomas or Mark Aguirre, whoever. It's implied that it's their shoes, but it doesn't say their name on it.
Right. Yeah, they
You
got
know?
a color. They got a colorway.
Yeah. So
They
I mean,
didn't. They're like, this is Magic's colorway, but that I don't know. He should have took the Nike deal, but all right, whatever. Should have took the Nike deal, but hindsight's 2020. But should have took the Nike deal.
yeah. Be purple and white blazers with Magic on the back now, but
Right.
oh man. Well, what are your we could say we're OGs, we're older. What are your thoughts on the game now?
My thoughts on the game now. It's definitely a different world. I really don't know how to. I really don't know how to judge it. I'm kind of a big fan of, the your younger set, your teens, your 20s, however they're coming up with it now. Live your life, do your thing. It's their time. I consider myself washed in the game, so I don't have any skin in the game with that. But at the same time, like I have no idea how they consider what they consider, but they also don't have, like you were talking about the product placement and stuff. They don't quite have that the same way. It's more celebrities.
Yeah.
They don't put that job on the ball players that much anymore. Like because when you think about it, like we know Jordan had a line, Barkley was the face of force, and these type of things. But now you really don't have that. They'll have whoever's got a signature, and then those shoes below that they treat like they're below. They don't treat them like a premium shoe. So it's whatever. So everybody just wears Kyrie's or whatever for the comfort. They don't have like, okay, here's our team shoe, or they don't. It doesn't look the part like those GTs, which have crazy technology in them, but nobody really wants to casually whatever. But have that line and be like Ja Morant, we're gonna put you in the GT and get his feedback on it. Have him in it a couple years, then give him a signature. Stagger it. But they don't have that anymore. So it's a more casual culture now. So you have basketball shoes, you have the Yeezys, you have the athleisure with the pandemic. So now you got your foam shoes.
Yeah.
So from that standpoint, I don't have a problem. If it's just the sneaker game, you're talking about Jordans and Coppin and stuff like that. I think it's a lot of wasted space in the retail. It's too many colors for me personally. Too many colorways that aren't good. They're just out there. And the stuff we just talked about, they could spend that money to do all of that.
No, you're right. You're right. See what you were talking about with the GT cuts and stuff. I felt like they had kind of got back to that briefly when they came out with the Adapt and they had Jason Tatum.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But it was like it just ended after that. It was kind of like Jason Tatum is on
Jordan Brand.
And I think Kuzma is with Puma, I think.
Yeah.
So, or Adidas.
But plus that's a shoe that wouldn't. Oh, excuse me. But I was gonna say that. Plus, that's a shoe that's not really attainable for like a 15-year-old. he sees them and it adapts, but it's a $200-300 shoe.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, everything else is 200 or 300 now, one way or the other. But still, you can't just be like, okay, I see one of my players in a shoe that I like, I can go get it. Kind of like, I think that's part of the hype. Like, I'm not a big fan of them. You know, love y'all they are a fan of like the Mellow Balls. Like, I understand, like, okay, I like how organic that was. The kids like the shoe and they went and bought the shoe. That's how it was, you know?
And it was a good
And I
price.
appreciate that. Yeah, and it's priced where it's not killing mom and dad in the head. They can go get it. They can enjoy it. That's their thing, you know. And 10 years from now, they might want to retro that, you know.
Yeah.
Organic with that, you know.
Yeah, like Al, my wife, a couple other people in this chat, you know, my homie Key, they all hopped on that train. I'm just not there. I did like that little that they did in the Rick and Morty, you know, but I ain't gonna wear these. I got too much shit I don't wear already.
Yeah. Like me, I know I won't wear them, but I want like the Hornets colors. I do like the Hornets color.
Yeah.
But I'm a team color guy. I love team colors. But I like what they did with his line. I like how the stitching on the shoe. I like how that's pretty much like a continuation of his leg tats and stuff. Mm-hmm. I think that's cool. I like how they actually, you know, it's a signature. You know, it's really having to do with him. You know, I kind of like that. I like that they pick the guy. They're like, all right, we want this young guy to represent us, and they're going all in with it. I appreciate that.
I appreciate that you're a team colorway guy. I thought I was one of the only people. You know, everybody want the crazy, you know, but I was like, you play for the Bulls and I'm wearing your shoe. I still need a white, black, and red and a black and red, man. You know,
right.
Everything can't be teal and purple and pink and everything. So,
yeah.
Okay.
But I'm glad they make that because that's the variety people want. But for me, I'm always going to look for, I want a team color or something representing that.
Yeah.
And I understand it's more like soccer. They lax the rules, so it's more like soccer now. Like, you know, you can wear your signature thing. But even if you're going to do the crazy colors, I prefer a guy have a signature color. Like if this is, like if like we were talking about Jason Tatum, if he comes out with a shoe, here's his color. That's why, even though I don't like Zion shoes, I like that the Bayou Boys is kind of his signature part of the thing, and then they go from there. You know, give us something. If you're going to tell a story, just tell the story. You know.
Gotcha. Now, what would you say is your holy grail?
Holy grail now. For me, that's a moving target because as I find stuff, or like I said, I'm thankful, even though I don't like that they do a lot of colors for some things. I'm thankful that some of the stuff they will retro that are wearable. So one of my grails was a Adidas Rivalry in the Knicks colors. I have that. I've got the Eric Emanuel, the limited one. I've got the low. I got the black and white. So those I have those. So now the next thing would probably be some Agassi models that might not ever come back out. I don't know of, and probably that the one would be like a big bubble. Now since it's supposed to announce it, I don't have to try to find an old 87 that I know I can't wear. I can wear that. So that's for me. I don't have like a big colorway of some shoe or anything. It's more of those things that like we were talking about that are in the vortex that if for some reason they make it out, then that's kind of the next one for me. How about yourself?
That or the Air Espo, the Air Force 2 Espo, those are probably 1 and 2. I got one for you. So right before the Magic Triple Double, he had his own colorway of the ERX 350.
Okay.
Now, that 60 was close. The high, the Just Dime one with the fur was probably the best one. But if they ever came out with that ERX 350 that they made for Magic,
okay,
for me,
I'm always surprised. Like when Just Don came out with his models, I'm surprised they didn't try to piggyback and throw that in there.
Yeah, and the fact that they didn't really do a lot of highs. I mean, they had the fur high, the soloist did his two highs. And I think they had like a white and gray one that hit retail, but it was still not that many pairs. And then that was it. They were all mids or lows. So I don't know. I mean, I know that people aren't looking for a lot of that stuff, but I still feel like there are enough people that are where even if you make it limited, it's still going to be a hit.
Yeah. I
You
guess
know.
my thing is if you don't have that many people looking for it and you've got this history around the shoe, it seemed like you would lean into that to
Mm-hmm.
have it retail instead of, even though I love Don C's stuff, but if I had the option between, like you said, a Magic Player Edition or something with like fur and animal print on it, I'd rather have a Magic. If
Of
I got
course.
if you got to make it.
Yeah. I mean, it's so many things that could be done, and again, just um, knowing as much as you know and as much as I know about the culture, the history, sports, you know, it's like y'all need to do this. Like it probably won't happen now because he's been caught up with so much legal and off the court stuff. But that Kevin Johnson shoe, the running slam, like I feel
Yeah,
like you can buy that.
yeah.
Um,
Well, now that I think about it, that would probably be a grill for me too, like something like that, or the grandmamas with actual React juice instead of that
yeah,
travesty they did last time. That
yeah,
would that would be something I want to get back to for sure.
yeah. One for me, another one. Since we're just talking about Converse, the um, the All Star '91, that first Rodman shoe
Yeah,
with his name on it.
yeah,
I was able to grab a pair of the Air All Star Springfields when he first signed, even though they're it's questionable how much longer I'll be able to actually wear them. But I would love to have those Rodmans. But I know
okay,
that's probably never gonna happen. Nike's never gonna do
yeah,
it.
yeah. It's tough. I wish they would sprinkle it in because it's funny you asked me about the grails because, like I said, it's a moving target for me because like a lot of grails I would have would be Nike stuff, and there's a lot of Adidas stuff that I wanted that they actually trickled out of the blue,
Yeah.
like the old Adidas running shoe, the old Salvations from '97.
Ooh.
So
Yeah.
they trickled those out. They trickled out the old the old Edberg competitions from '91 that came out around the same time as the Tech Challenge. Like stuff like that. I never would have thought that they would have come back out with. Hold on, give me one moment. Be right
Sure.
back.
What's up to everybody in the chat? Thank you for joining.
All right. So I came by. I just wanted to grab it. I had it close to me. So like this, I would have never thought they'd have brought. And I'm a fan of feet you wear, that kind of era too with Kobe. So I know he was on the basketball side, and you had the trainers and stuff. So I would have never thought they would have re-released this in the OG colorway in the OG box with the feet you wear hang tag. I would have never thought. But they
Yeah.
just so happened to. And with the what was that shoot Kobe wore during media day? The first ones, the top 10 2000s.
Yeah.
They they
Hey,
they, they re-released those, grab those. So those are things that will be a wearable grab for me. I wish they come back. For some reason, they brought them back. I don't know why, but thank you. You know what I'm saying? I
yeah.
got a brand new pair for me. I don't have to find something beat up from freaking Japan. It's wrapped
Yeah.
in cellophane that I can't wear. I can stare at it.
I
But
have to.
so,
Won't wear
yeah,
it.
I have it. Yeah, I won't wear it. I kind of like to wear it. That's kind of the part of the thing too. I couldn't wear it as a kid. I couldn't afford it. I kind of want to wear some of it, not all of it, but like I said, stuff like that. That's kind of close to one. I'm grateful for. Like
For
I've
sure.
got, I don't know. I guess it's another Adidas thing. Like earlier this year, Adidas released the Superstar '82, which is basically Chris Law. I guess he was part of like Cricket Tongues and stuff, and then went to design for them. He before he left, that was his last project. He kind of did the Superstar like a 1-to-1 recreation of the '82. So around that era, Run DMC was into it. It's kind of a 1-to-1, like down to the millimeter. He went in the archives and found the old sketches. But I say all that to say this: I've got Superstars. I like them. I never could understand how Run DMC could wear them without laces. I never understood that because I could never do it. You know, they're too flat. You got to tie them up. Those you can. I
It's
don't
tough.
have laces in them because you can because of the shape of it. It kind of just sucks to your foot.
Okay.
And
And
it's that original shape from that time frame. So that must have been what they're doing. Like I watch interviews with Reverend Run where he said he don't know how they fit on his foot, you know, from like years ago. And that's how it is. It's that shape from then. But, you know, little stuff like that.
see, it's good because see, I feel like in like 12, 11, 12, 13, when they were doing the superstar 80s,
Yeah.
oh, but they were really just aged. They were just a newer superstar. I mean, the tongue was different, but it
Yeah.
still wasn't like what you're talking about now. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like a 1-to-1 thing.
Yeah.
You
And the
know.
thing, and I guess it's a comfort thing too, because to fit like that, they kind of fit kind of narrow. That last, you know, people want more comfort, so they gave it to them. It's a close shape. I have some 80s. I have some was it the Japanese craftsmanship 80s, which
Okay.
have the premium leather, and they're like pre-aged, like you would find like kind of made in France type of look to them. And the 82s like that, they've got like crafted in France or mastered in France, whatever on them. But like those, they cost so much if you find them original. But like if they can recreate that, like you said, it's just is a little bit different as
Nah.
far as understanding, you know, kind of where they're coming from back then, and the materials and things and colors. That's I guess why I'm big on colorways and like you said, team colors and stuff. It just kind of hits. It reminds you of what you thought of when you saw that stuff back then
Mm-hmm.
as a kid. For me,
Just like another one that I'm glad that they brought back just because of how popular the Wave Runner is. They brought back that Adidas solution. You know, where you can
yeah.
see where Kanye got the um, inspiration for the Wave Runner from. You
Oh,
know,
oh yeah.
I'm
And that's
glad.
what kind of irks me. Kanye comes out and I understand for, you know, they're gonna milk that for all it's worth if they can get away with it. But you know, he kind of casually forgets that a lot of those runners and casual shoes, you can tell like if you knew if like you said the solution and stuff, he hit the archive hard. He
Yeah,
just put them in tonal colors, you know. But he hit
yeah,
the archive hard.
no, for sure, for sure. All right, so I do have to ask you now. You know, as we kind of wind down,
Okay.
what what direction would you like to see your current collection go in the future?
Um, I think I'm just as far now. I'm just kind of curating the closet, whittling down. Like I said, I sold off a lot of the older OG stuff, except for the stuff that kind of meant something to me. I definitely knew wasn't going anywhere. But you know, just kind of trimming the fat, get more of the originals, and just sprinkling in some new stuff that I like. But I'm pretty much there. But like you said, with Nike, we know some stuff, Nike, Adidas, some stuff's not going to come back. That helps me, you know. But you know, just having things wearable and enjoying the shoes, just wearing them. I don't get a chance to wear them daily, you know, what I have. So when the summer comes and good weather, I try to hit it hard when I can. But that's kind of the thing. What I do have, like this conversation we had about, you know, talking about these sneakers and putting a smile on our face, thinking about them, kind of getting out there and wearing them too. So that's kind of want to just make sure I'm going through the closet and appreciating why I got them in the first place.
No, I think that's something I do too. You know, like I was just telling my wife, I love buying Air Force Ones. I love looking at them, but I don't really ever wear the pairs I have enough. And
Okay.
that Air Force Ones, Blazers, and I guess Dunks, I need to show more love to. But with Dunks, since everybody's on them again, it makes me not want to wear them.
Okay.
You know, unless I know I'm coming. You know, if I come out with an MF Doom or a De La Soul, something like that, where I know nobody's gonna have it at the
Yeah.
mall. You
Yeah, I
know,
hear you.
instead of a Panda or you know what I mean, a Syracuse, like
Yeah.
something like that. So
Yeah, that was part of what I did with my pairs. Like some of the stuff, like some of the dunks I had, I knew I wasn't going to wear, and dunks weren't comfortable really to me back in the day. Like I bought SBs, like I used to BMX back in the day, so it'd
mm,
be in the shop, and that's why I first kind of saw the SBs, you know, kind of start, you know, trickling out. more and more they were skate shop only. They had the zoom air and the heel. So I was like, all right, this is comfortable. And they told like a big time story with the colorways and materials. So that's really a lot of those I have left. Like I still have my Hawaiis and my Gibson guitars, Brian Andersons, both of them. Those type of things I still have, but otherwise the rest of the dunks could go. But those I'm not getting away. And I know if I wear them somewhere, nobody's gonna have those. I don't.
Yeah,
Maybe the Hawaii, but the rest of them.
yeah. Those Gibson guitars are a big time regret because I can still see them at the one skate shop we used to have in Cleveland, just sitting there, um, you know. But it's all good. It's all good. They'll all come back down.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah. They'll move on to something else after a while.
Yeah. Now, what is on your radar next as far as new releases for the rest of the year?
Rest of the year, that I know of, definitely the Chicago Air Jordan 2. Because I love the 2, but I could never put what was released with my memory of the 2 because of the banana toe and the different detail that just wasn't it.
Yeah.
I mean, they did all kind of. I mean, I remember them putting the Air Max sole on it, the new
Ooh,
retro 2, the dark times. You know what I'm saying?
that new retro 2 was awful, by the way.
Yeah, it was terrible. So to go from that to them actually wanting to do right by it, I definitely want to. If I can, I'd like to get my hands on that for sure. The
Yeah.
one, not so much.
Okay.
Not so much. I mean, I like them, but I think it'll be more bother to get them if it's not because they're aged. People don't like the aged. I do because I have some stuff like that, so it doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I
but
get you.
that's but yeah. As far as I know that was coming out, that's definitely one on my radar. All the other things that for this year that I wanted, I got. I wanted the kind of more close to original, the Air Force One High, the white and silver. I have those. I got those. So I wanted those for sure. I wanted the bow turfs. I came up on those. I got those. I wanted the trainer ones. The older stuff I wanted from Nike. That was it from them. So the last ones that two. I don't know how it's gonna go, but that's on my radar for sure.
One thing I was gonna say, I feel like with less popular silhouettes like the 2, what the 7 and 8 have become, I really feel like those shoes are going to be collab heavy. Um, like I really feel like this Chicago 2 is the only regular 2 that we're probably going to get this year that's not a collaboration with someone. Um,
Yeah, you're probably right.
I I'm excited for it because it'll be the first time they've ever retroed it properly since those 95
Yeah,
reissues, whatever. So
yeah,
hopefully it'll be like that. It won't look as um, I don't want to use the term wonky, but it won't look like the '04 or 10s that we know with the
yeah.
piping, So that's my hope. Um, so yeah, for me, it's those 2. I mean, I need a new pair of Chicago's. Um,
Yeah, I still want the Virgils, but I'm not paying that for the white. I'm not paying it. I don't see. Nobody likes the 2. I have 2 lows. That's another Jimmy Jazz because nobody liked them. So I got several of those that are still great. But that with that shape is beautiful. And I like the fact that it was something scanned out of the archives that Mike wore that
yeah,
that informed that shape. I love that, but I don't understand why people like them when they hated them. Like this, the same people. It wasn't that much of a gap in time.
yeah,
Difference
haters.
of a couple of years. I mean, maybe it's the off-white cosign, which it is what it is. We all like something that was popular. There was a hype train for everything.
Sure.
But for something I wanted those. I really wanted those, but I'm not paying that. I'm not paying it. I'm just not doing it.
Nah, those blue pattas were probably the 2 hardest L's that wasn't a dunk that I took last year.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm trying to think. The ones, the twos, I still want those taxi ones because I was too
Okay.
stupid to buy the shattered backboards in 2015 that I had them for next to nothing. But it's all good. So that's really all I can think of. I need to see how those black and silver, those black and chrome 6, since they're making it a high top, I got to see how that comes out.
Okay.
But that's the only other thing I can really think of on the Nike. Oh, um, however they decide to roll out these LeBron 2s, I'll be looking at that too.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah, I like those barbershops, but I prefer to have his birthday if I had to get one.
Mm.
When they were still doing the birthday LeBron, I like that all black. I love that. I could never get my hands on it.
Yeah, and it was made with like Coach leather. I never got it either. I got the
Yeah,
birthday, but I never was able to get the birthday too.
yeah. It was a gorgeous shoe.
Yeah. And I'm not usually big on all black or all white sneakers, but that one I was like, yeah, but you know.
And see, that's my thing. I love all black or all white sneakers, and it's something I kind of grew into. But something I noticed as I went on, like I say, for instance, like you were talking about some of the Adidas, like the conductors of rivalries and things with the leather quality and stuff. Sometimes the material makes the difference too. Like you
Yeah.
can't have like the Hood Air Force One lows. They just dead flat. It's something different when the leather's good. It hits different in real life, not in pictures so much. That's why I'm curious about those since '82 Air Force One lows, like the
Oh yeah. With the
I
toothbrush.
don't know I don't know how good they did. I can tell the leather's better. I can tell the shape is better. I know they did the old Nike Air Text, how it used to be. I know
Mm-hmm.
they've done those shapes, but I mean really they can do all that stuff, but if the leather not right,
Don't
nobody's gonna want to pay the premium because you can't tell. Like you can only tell in person though. Like I said, if you got a great leather on it, it looks different. That the toe box is gonna drop, it's gonna have to. But if you put the you put the plastic coating on it and it's just hard like a regular, they're gonna buy a $90 pair.
yeah.
Who cares?
And see, we're from that Air Force One premium era, where you paying 110 or 120 for the premium. You know what I mean?
Right. And
So
I know they can do better because I still have like Clark Kent Black Fridays, Five Boroughs pack. I still have these. I know what they can do. That's like 21 Mercer level.
yeah. Yeah.
So I know what they can do, but it's a matter if they'll do it.
Yeah. Now I do have to ask, what size do you wear?
Oh, I wear 9.5, 10, pin on the shoe.
Okay. But man, if you want to sell something, I'm gonna let
Oh,
you.
what I gotta stay. I'm
I,
past that.
I,
But I understand you gotta try it. You never
yeah.
know.
Yeah. All right. Well, before we sign off, I do want to thank you again for being here. Did you have any questions for me?
I actually do. Now I got one question. It's a theory. I want your opinion on it. I remember hearing about it a couple times. The hood nigga Jordans. Now, now my theory. Now I have a theory. My theory on the hood nigga Jordans is that if you think about how the game used to be, how the game is now, that's the truest part of the game. Just cop what you like, put a fit with it, beat it down.
No, that's true. I just
Now I'm not saying I participate in it, but I'm just saying, just thinking about the truest part of the game, just copping the new Jordan or whatever you like. You go get matchy as hell with it. Go find all your stuff, beat it down for 3-4 weeks, hit the clubs hard, hit the barbecues hard. Then she's done. Then get you another one.
no, you're
That's the
right.
truest part of the game.
You're right. It just seems like certain numbers, man. They really push that with certain numbers. Like 11s are for everybody, so 11s don't
Yeah.
count.
Right. Okay.
I feel like only people like us and hype beasts wear ones and threes. And now the four is kind of taking some of the threes thunder, where now it's more about the four, I feel like, than the three with that. That's that same OG High customer, but I
Okay.
just like fives. It could be about the color, but 9, 12, 13, 10, like the majority of those that come out, like every 9 that comes out is damn near a hood nigga Jordan.
Oh, for sure.
You know,
They
every
just figure they got something with it. It's like a boot, you know.
yeah,
It's like
yeah,
it's like they saving money on making ACG boots again. They just put out a 9.
yeah. Let's bring out this all black 12 and make it winterize. We'll put some shearling on the inside. You know,
Right. And
nah, you're right.
they'll do numbers for that season. It's like it seems like everything they do now is just a build up to Christmas, you know. So
Yeah, yeah.
get your money, man. They
About
got it planned out good. That's why I think about the penny. I think they just try to get as close to September as they can with this stuff. Try to ramp it up, and then they'll start releasing this other stuff. And they'll know if you can't get one, you're gonna try to get something.
yeah,
So then they can just do numbers through through New Year's.
yeah. Because I mean, the white one is allegedly supposed to come out August 25th.
Allegedly, yeah.
Yeah. Because I've had to tell certain people because people was really hurt on July 1st. I'm like, that wasn't even a real date. I mean, I know DTLR released them, but that's usually, you know how that is. That's a placeholder date. We used to look at Slam Magazine, it'd be like May 1st, but
Right,
it would be out or it wouldn't come out until the next month or something. So,
right.
because I don't even think Nike is used to shoes like that having release dates. It's usually just Jordans and foam posits and
Yeah.
other shit.
And and as I recall, I know sometimes they really didn't. I know sneaker shops definitely didn't, but I know even kind of before that, it was more of a release window. Most shops would have something by a certain point, and then they would kind of, around that time they're going to come out one way or other. They might not get them all at the same time. But I think now these releases now, I think they just kind of, all right, we're trying to book money. Like we know we're going to get this little influx of money, run this money back, as like Foot Locker or whatever. But that might, I don't know how much longer that's going to last for them, but them trying to do direct to consumer more. But, they're kind of locking in numbers.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, because they are about direct to consumer, it seems like. I feel like
yeah.
there are more releases just online. And, it's already happened with Converse. Nike has really affected the way, where with Converse, they're kind of like a Golden State ticket holder before 2010,
Right, yeah.
I think it's for $15. Now they're $450 because we win it. So,
Right.
But yeah, man. But, oh, man. This
Oh, yeah.
is
This has been really good, man. I was going to ask you, I got one more question for you, too. Now
sure.
that I think about it, as far as copping the shoes and things and what's coming up, what still excites you about it? What still gets you going about, all right, this next release? Especially knowing the state of the game. Like, what still keeps you, engaged in it? For me, it's still the what next for me. I'm still, as much as I complain about this or that, I still like to be surprised when something's good.
I'm trying to think how I can best do this. I guess it's kind of like to piggyback on what you said. I mean, it's no telling what Nike can bring out of the vault. You never know. I don't like the current trend of them bringing back obscure basketball shoes and trainers, making them all black and all white, and letting a collaborator do that. I don't like
Ambush.
that.
Like ambush,
Yeah.
right?
Como de Garçon, Stussy. They're about to bring back the Air Max 2013. Like, who wants that? It's the same bubble all the way back to 2009.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, if they're gonna do it, I prefer they do it like Skepta did his Air Maxes. Do something completely different based on something that you liked. Not just like you said, do like and I love monotone, but not on some of these shoes, they need to be just an OG.
All right. So I think I got something now. I will say I'm still intrigued by new technology. That's why I still like to buy new basketball shoes. My wife has been collecting for a long time as well. She hates Paul George, but I'm still intrigued by his shoes, even though I hate him. And I shouldn't say I hate him. The team that he plays for, I hate
his guts, but I appreciate your shoes.
Yeah, I hate Clippers, but I'm still intrigued with what they're going to do. His shoe looks like a playable React Presto. You can hoop in. So I'm still intrigued with new technology, but still, there's always stuff that I would like to have, and it I don't know, it's just something that's still there. It's still a passion of mine. Just being around sneakers, making sneaker content, talking to people about sneakers. It's just
Okay.
I don't know. I think it's a part of my DNA.
Okay. Yeah, I can agree with that, especially the technology part of it. That's why I have a lot of the Nikes and other brands, Adidas and stuff. Like I said, I appreciate feature wear. I have some of the old Adidas models that had the cushioning rods, the pegs, just
Yeah,
different weird stuff like that. I appreciate what they were trying to do.
yeah,
Some of the pod systems, like the Equipment 95s that I remember, from back in the day, stuff like that, that I have. I appreciate like you said, just the quirkiness of it, because trying something different, and seeing if it works. That's why Nike Air was so. That's why like the Zoom X Kush. Nike, they got back in their technology bag with that. Like those Alpha Flies, it's like like I said, it feels like VaporMax looks like it feels.
yeah.
And I like the fact, huh?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I think you said
No,
that.
go Yeah,
Uh,
that's right. Yeah, I did.
yeah, it made me laugh.
But like you said, with the technology, I like the fact that they're still engaged in that. And for me, doing my walks and runs and stuff, I like the fact I can still go to them, and have, and still be able to get that. And that's something that not a lot of people not really on it really. I mean, they charge an arm and a leg. They had a nice sale here recently. So
Yeah,
I got some Invincible runs, which are all Zoom X. I mean, they feel like you're on marshmallows, man. It's ridiculous. But I like the fact that I can still go to them for something I've never felt before, something I've never thought would happen. That's how it was back in the day. Every year they were trying something. I like the fact they still do that in the running space. And
yeah,
I'm a fan of the old like Nike waffle trainers and stuff like that, and racers. So they started in foam, and I like the fact they're still pushing it. They're still pushing forward, and setting records and stuff. So that's cool.
yeah. I'm a big fan of innovation myself. So I was just looking at some Invincible runs because they look crazy. I'm like, they need
Put
to
them
look.
on, put them on, man. I'm telling you, just put them on and walk around. Just give it a shot. Now I don't know how fashionable they are. Like I'm wearing mine. I bought mine for replace. I had some React. I had a couple pairs of Epic Reacts. I needed to beat down some Ultra Boost, and their foam's done now. So I needed something else. Nike had this sale, and I came up on them. But yeah, they look like a React. They have the same type of sort of design as the Reacts they have, but it's a whole different world. I wouldn't have thought they'd have felt that different.
Yeah, it kind of reminded me of I can't remember the name of that shoe, the Overbreak. It kind of reminded me of the Overbreak a
Okay.
little.
Okay. Yeah, I get you. Yeah. Okay.
So I was looking at the pair I was looking at. It was like they were like pink and Volt, and I was still wearing casual because I wear everything casual. But um, I don't know. I just let me chill. Let me chill. Let me look up on these a little more. But now getting your cosign, if that pair is still there on the hash wall, I might have to go see what's up.
Yeah. All I say is, even if you don't like them, just try them on. You might like another pair in the future, but Zoom X is dope. Like I'm very surprised. Like, 'cause I know some of the other more hardcore brands like Saucony and stuff have a sequence that P-backs foam base, stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, Nike did that. They put everybody on notice with that. So like you said, the innovation and them still, I like that they still, even though I don't like what they do with the retro stuff and the heritage, a lot of times, I like that they're still pushing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've only got one shoe with Zoom X. It's the next percent Alpha Fly. I wanted the Fly's version because I saw them at Nordstrom Rack in Durham, but they were still like $200 at Nordstrom Rack. So I'm like, I ended up being able to find a pair with the laces for a lot cheaper, but I haven't actually worn. So
Okay.
hearing your cosign, I'm intrigued to see how they
Yeah,
feel.
those feel crazy too. But yeah, if you got some Alpha Flies, like if you're not on your toes, you're sinking that foam. You'll sink down in the back.
Really?
Yeah, it's that soft. If you're not on the move, but
Okay.
it feels crazy though. It's not to the point where you'll feel pain. Like if you were just like walking or something, but you know, I'd be mindful of it. You will sink down in them.
Okay.
Because they got the carbon plate. It kind of wants you to go forward. And that's kind of just a crash pad and it bounces back to shape. Like the Invincibles, the whole sole is like that. So you can kind of walk and you just feel like you're on pillows or marshmallows, basically. But it
Oh,
bounces back. Like it feels weird, man. That's why I'm just like, try them on. It's as unfashionable as they look, they feel crazy.
hmm. I might go.
And I'm getting, you know, and as we get older, you know, it's kind of move it or lose it. So I was like, I want some cushion.
Yeah. Yeah. We're
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, listen, we this can't be the only time this happens, man. We gotta
Okay.
do, man. But yeah, man. Thank you so much for being on here. I know it was a little bit short notice, but this is
Yeah.
definitely my best shows. I've definitely enjoyed talking to you. And now that you're local, we definitely got to get up. You know.
Okay. Sound like
Hey,
a plan. Like I said, again, thanks for having me. I appreciate it for sure.
yeah,
It's
man.
always nice to kind of talk shoes and different things and, you know, variety of things.
Yeah, well, you probably about to get tired of me now. I'm gonna be like, hey Jay, you see, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be, yeah, man. So thank you so much, man. Well, I'm gonna say goodbye to everybody in the chat as well as my wonderful guests here. I do want to say one more thing. I want to add one more thing to the grill list, and it's an Adidas basketball shoe. If they ever brought back the Adidas El Dorado, I would have to have them.
Okay.
You know, I would have to have them with the trefoil logo on the side instead of the stripes. I would have to have those, but I know they're probably
Okay.
never gonna do that. If they do, it'll be Jeremy Scott putting a wing on top of it or something.
Yeah, something random in Europe.
Yep. Yep. All right, man. Well, I'm gonna be in touch. Thank you once again.
All right. Like I said, appreciate it for having me.
No problem,
Good,
man.
good talk. Definitely good.
All right, man. Peace.
All right, peace.